Hello my friends, Dr. Mandell here. If you're over 60, you've probably noticed that your muscles don't feel the same as they did years ago. You may feel weaker, you tire faster, and activities that were once easy now feel like a workout. And here's the truth, after the age of 50, most people lose up to 1-2% of their muscle mass every single year if they're not doing something about it. But today I'm going to share one simple bedtime habit, a food you can eat before you sleep that can help preserve your muscle, boost recovery, and keep you strong well into your senior years. My friends, I want to take a moment to talk to you about something that's happening to every single one of us as we age, and most people don't even realize it's going on until it's too late. After the age of 50, something called age-related muscle loss begins to speed up in the body. In the medical world, we call it sarcopenia. Now, I know that's a big fancy word, but what it means is simple. Your muscles are slowly disappearing. And I don't mean this in a dramatic, scare tactic way. I mean this in a very real, biological, and scientifically proven way. If we don't take the right steps to protect our muscles, we can lose 1-2% of our muscle mass every single year after we hit that 50-year mark. Now I want you to think about what that really means. Let's take an average, healthy 55-year-old man or woman who still feels pretty good. They walk around, they lift groceries, they can climb the stairs without much trouble. Let's say they weigh about 150 pounds and have a decent amount of muscle on their body. If they start losing just 1% of their muscle mass each year, after 10 years, they've lost about 10% of their muscle. That might not sound like a big number, but trust me, it is. Muscle is your engine. It's the thing that drives every single movement you make, whether that's standing up from a chair, bending down to tie your shoes, or even keeping your balance when you step off a curb. Now here's where it gets serious. That 10% muscle loss isn't just about feeling weaker, it's about losing your functional strength. This is the kind of strength you use in everyday life. And when you start losing that, things snowball quickly. You start moving less because it's harder. When you move less, your muscles shrink even more. And then one day you find yourself needing help with things you used to do without even thinking about them. This is how so many older adults lose their independence. And I know some of you might be thinking, well, Dr. Mandell, I'm still active. I go for walks, do my chores. I don't think I'm losing muscle. But here's the thing, you can't always see muscle loss until it's already taken a toll. It happens silently. You might notice your clothes fitting a little looser in the arms or legs. You might see that your once firm thighs feel softer. You might notice you can't carry as many grocery bags at once as you used to. These are subtle warning signs that muscle loss is creeping in. The truth is, the aging process naturally shifts your body's chemistry. Hormones like testosterone, growth hormone, and estrogen start to decline. Your protein synthesis, the process of building new muscle, slows down. Your body becomes less efficient at using the protein you eat to repair and grow muscle tissue. And because of this, even if you're eating the same foods and doing the same activities you did at 40, your muscle mass is still at risk unless you make intentional changes. Now let's talk about why muscle is so important beyond just strength. Your muscles are your metabolic powerhouse. The more muscle you have, the more calories your body burns at rest. This means muscle helps keep your weight stable and your metabolism humming. But it's more than that. Muscle plays a huge role in controlling blood sugar. Every time you move, your muscles pull sugar out of your blood and use it for energy. When you have less muscle, your blood sugar control gets worse, which can lead to insulin resistance and eventually diabetes. And it doesn't stop there. Muscle supports your joints, cushions your bones, and keeps your posture upright. It protects you from falls, and falls, my friends, are one of the biggest dangers for older adults. A simple fall can lead to a fracture, and a fracture can lead to months in bed, which then causes even more muscle loss. It's a vicious cycle. I want you to picture two paths. On one path, you keep losing 1-2% of your muscle mass every year after 50. By the time you hit 70, you've lost up to 40% of the muscle you had in your younger years. That means less mobility, less strength, more aches and pains, more dependence on others. On the other path, you take action now. You give your muscles the nutrients they need, you challenge them with movement and resistance, you protect them while you sleep. On this path, you maintain your strength, you keep doing the activities you love, and you stay independent for as long as possible. Here's the part that inspires me. Muscle loss after 50 is not inevitable. Yes, it's common, but it's not your fate. The body is an amazing machine and it responds to what you give it. If you feed your muscles the right fuel, if you stimulate them with exercise, and if you avoid long periods of fasting without protein, especially overnight, you can actually stop or even reverse muscle loss. I've seen people in their 70s and 80s build muscle they hadn't had in years just by making these changes. I also want you to think about muscle as your health savings accounts. Every bit of muscle you have stored away gives you more resilience for the future. If you get sick and have to stay in bed for a few days or weeks, your body will naturally break down some muscle. But if you have more muscle to begin with, you recover faster. If you get injured, you heal better. And if you face a major health challenge, your body has more strength to fight it off. So when I tell you that after the age of 50, you can lose 1-2% of your muscle mass each year, I'm not saying it to scare you, I'm saying it to wake you up. This is one of those moments where knowledge is power. Now that you understand what's happening, you can do something about it. And the sooner you start, the better your results will be. You are not powerless. You are not doomed to get weaker with age, but you must take this seriously. Just like we save money for retirement, we need to invest in our muscle bank. And that means making choices every single day that support strength, recovery, and repair. That's why in this video, I'm giving you a very specific bedtime strategy, because if you can protect your muscle during those long hours of sleep when your body is fasting, you can slow down or even stop that yearly muscle loss. Remember, my friends, muscle is not just for athletes or bodybuilders. Muscle is for life. It's the difference between walking into the kitchen and making your own breakfast at 85 or having someone else do it for you because you can't stand for long. It's the difference between living life on your terms or being limited by your body. That's why this message is so important. After 50, time is working against your muscle mass, but with the right habits, you can make time work for you instead. And I'm here to tell you, you can do this. I've seen it happen over and over again. All it takes is awareness, consistency, and the willingness to make your muscle health a priority, because at the end of the day, your health is your wealth, and protecting your muscle, that's one of the best investments you can ever make. Let's talk about something that's happening inside your body every single night, and most people have no idea how important it really is. When you go to sleep, your body isn't just resting, it's working, it's repairing, rebuilding, recharging every cell, every tissue, every organ. And one of the most important jobs your body has while you're sleeping is repairing and rebuilding your muscles. This is when the magic happens, but it can also be the time when the most damage is done if you're not giving your body what it needs. Here's the truth. Your muscles don't grow or repair when you're in the gym or when you're moving around during the day. That's when you're actually breaking them down. The real repair happens when you're resting, especially during sleep. Your body uses this time to release growth hormone, to repair damaged muscle fibers, and to replenish energy stores. It's like a construction crew coming in at night to rebuild the roads after a busy day of traffic. But here's the catch. If the construction crew shows up and there are no building materials on site, they can't fix anything. And for your muscles, those building materials are amino acids, the basic units of protein. Now here's where things get tricky, especially for seniors. When you go to bed, you enter a natural fast. For most people, that's 7, 8, maybe even 9 hours without eating. If your body doesn't have a steady supply of amino acids during that time, it has to get them from somewhere. And guess what? The easiest place for your body to get them is from your own muscle tissue. That's right. Your body can literally break down your hard-earned muscle while you're sleeping just to get the amino acids it needs to keep things running. That's why many people wake up feeling stiff, weaker, or just not as strong as they did the day before. Because during the night, muscle breakdown has outweighed muscle repair. And if that's happening night after night, month after month, year after year, the loss adds up in a big way. This is one of the reasons older adults lose muscle faster, not just because of aging hormones, but because they aren't protecting their muscles during this long overnight fast. I want you to think about it like this. Imagine you're trying to fill up a savings account, but every night while you sleep, someone takes money out of it. That's what's happening to your muscle bank account. If you go to bed without enough protein in your system, you might be putting some in during the day, but if you let it drain all night, you're losing ground. And over time, that balance gets smaller and smaller until one day you realize you don't have enough in there to get through life's challenges. This is why bedtime nutrition is absolutely critical, especially for those of us over 50. The younger you are, the more forgiving your body can be. You can skip meals, eat late, or go without protein for long stretches, and your muscles will bounce back. But once you pass that 50-year mark, your body doesn't bounce back as quickly. It becomes less efficient at building muscle, and it becomes easier to lose it. That means you have to be more intentional about when and how you feed your muscles. I know some people say, well, I get enough protein during the day, so I should be fine. But the problem is not just the amount of protein you eat, it's the timing. If you eat all your protein at breakfast and lunch and then go to bed without another dose, your body has nothing to work with for hours on end. It's like starting a campfire in the morning and then letting it burn out long before the night comes. The fire dies, the warmth is gone, and you're left in the cold. When you eat the right kind of protein before bed, you're essentially giving your muscles a slow-release fuel source that will keep them fed all night long. That means instead of breaking down muscle to get what it needs, your body can focus on repairing and rebuilding it. This is the difference between waking up weaker and waking up stronger. You see, while you sleep, your body is in a constant tug-of-war between two processes: muscle protein synthesis, building muscle, and muscle protein breakdown, losing muscle. The balance between these two decides whether you gain muscle, keep it, or lose it. If you go to bed on an empty stomach or without enough amino acids in your system, the breakdown side wins. But if you go to bed with a steady source of protein, especially slow digesting protein, the synthesis side wins. And when synthesis wins, you protect your strength, your independence, and your vitality. Now, this doesn't just apply to athletes or people who want to bulk up. This applies to every single one of us. If you want to be able to get up from a chair without struggling, carry your groceries, climb stairs without feeling like you just ran a marathon, you need muscle. And if you want to keep that muscle as you get older, you have to start thinking about your nutrition, not just in terms of the day, but in terms of the night. Let me tell you, I've seen so many seniors turn things around just by making this one change. People in their 60s, 70s, even 80s who are losing strength year after year, suddenly stabilizing or even gaining muscle just because they started giving their body the right fuel before bed. It doesn't have to be a huge meal. In fact, it shouldn't be. We don't want to overload the digestive system right before sleep, but a small protein-rich snack that digests slowly can make a massive difference. And here's the beauty of it. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to eat a massive steak before bed or hit some crazy protein goal. You just have to be consistent, because consistency is what wins the long game against muscle loss. You protect your muscles a little bit each night, and over the months and years, that protection adds up. I want you to start thinking about your bedtime routine in a whole new way. Most people think about brushing their teeth, locking the doors, turning off the lights, but not about feeding their muscles. And yet this could be one of the most important things you do for your long-term health. Think of it as tucking your muscles in for the night with a warm, nourishing blanket of amino acids that will keep them safe until morning. Because here's the bottom line: if you're not proactive, the natural overnight fast will chip away at your strength, and you might not notice it week to week, but give it a few years and the change will be obvious. On the flip side, if you give your muscles the steady nutrition they need while you sleep, you'll be stacking the odds in your favor. You'll wake up with more energy, more stability, more strength, and you'll be setting yourself up for a longer, healthier, more independent life. My friends, you've worked hard for the muscle you have. Don't let it slip away while you're sleeping. Protect it, feed it, give it what it needs to rebuild, repair, and stay strong. Because when you do, you're not just building muscle, you're building your future. And that's a future worth fighting for. My friends, we've talked about the danger of losing muscle as we age, and we've talked about how most of that repair happens while you're sleeping. Now I want to give you one of the most powerful tools you can use to protect those muscles during the night, and that's casein protein. If there's one thing you remember from what I'm saying today, let it be this: slow digesting protein is your nighttime muscle insurance policy, and casein is king when it comes to slow digestion. Here's why this matters so much. When you eat protein, your body breaks it down into amino acids. These are the building blocks your muscles use to repair and grow. Some proteins digest very quickly, like whey protein. That's great for after a workout when you want to flood your muscles with nutrients right away. But here's the problem. Whey digests so fast that within 2 or 3 hours, the flow of amino acids in your blood drops off. That's fine during the day when you can eat another meal or snack. But at night, you're going 7, 8, maybe 9 hours without food. That's a long stretch of time for your muscles to be without fuel. This is where casein protein shines. Unlike whey, casein takes a long time to break down, sometimes 6 to 8 hours. That means when you have it before bed, it's like setting up a time-release system that steadily feeds your muscles all night long. Instead of your amino acid levels spiking and then crashing, they stay elevated while you sleep. And that steady supply is exactly what your body needs to keep muscle protein synthesis going while keeping muscle breakdown in check. Think about it like this. If you were building a house, would you want all the building materials delivered in one big pile at once, or would you prefer to have them arrive slowly, exactly when the workers need them, so there's no waste and no downtime? That's exactly what casein does for your muscles during the night. It delivers the materials gradually, right on schedule, so the rebuilding process never has to stop. Now let me tell you something important. Your body is always in a constant push and pull between building muscle and breaking it down. It's not like you're only building during the day and breaking down at night. Both processes are happening all the time. The question is, which side is winning? With a steady drip of amino acids from casein, you tilt the balance toward muscle building instead of muscle loss, even while you're in the deepest stages of sleep. I know some people hear protein before bed and think it's going to make them gain weight or interfere with their sleep. But here's the truth. A moderate amount of the right kind of protein isn't going to make you fat. In fact, it can actually help your metabolism stay strong because muscle burns calories even while you rest. And as for sleep, most people find that a small serving of something like cottage cheese or Greek yogurt before bed is calming and satisfying, not disruptive. Let's get practical. What are the best sources of casein protein you can use at night? The easiest and most natural options are dairy-based. Cottage cheese is my top pick. 1 cup of low-fat cottage cheese can give you 25 to 28 grams of protein, most of it casein. Greek yogurt, especially the plain unsweetened kind, is another great option with 15 to 20 grams of protein per cup. A glass of milk, warm if you prefer, can also work, giving you around 8 grams of protein in just 1 cup. And if you want something quick and easy, there are casein protein powders you can mix with water or milk to make a shake. These are especially handy for people who are lactose sensitive or don't want a heavy dairy product before bed. Now you might be wondering, Dr. Mandell, can I just eat chicken or fish before bed instead? The answer is yes, those foods have protein, but the digestion rate is different. Meat proteins tend to digest faster than casein, so they won't give you that long, slow release your muscles need during the night. They're great during the day, but for nighttime, casein has the advantage. I also want to point out that casein isn't just for bodybuilders or young athletes. I've worked with so many seniors who've added this one simple bedtime habit and noticed a huge difference. People report waking up feeling less sore, having more energy in the morning, and even finding that daily tasks like climbing stairs or carrying groceries feel easier after a few weeks. That's because their muscles aren't being starved overnight anymore. Instead, they're being fed exactly what they need to stay strong. And here's something else. Casein doesn't just help with muscle maintenance, it can also help protect your bones. Remember, dairy products are rich in calcium, and calcium is essential for bone strength. So while you're feeding your muscles, you're also giving your bones the nutrients they need to stay healthy. And strong muscles plus strong bones is the perfect combination for preventing falls and injuries as you get older. Now I want to address a concern I hear sometimes, but Dr. Mandell, I'm lactose intolerant. If that's you, don't worry. There are lactose-free dairy options like lactose-free cottage cheese or milk, and there are also non-dairy casein supplements available. You can still get the benefits without upsetting your stomach. The key is to find a form that works for you and make it part of your nightly routine. Consistency is everything here. Having casein one night won't make a noticeable difference. But making it a habit, something you do every night, like brushing your teeth, will change your body over time. This is how you fight back against the slow, steady muscle loss that comes with aging. You give your body the tools it needs to repair, rebuild, and stay strong night after night, year after year. So I want you to picture this. Every night when you go to bed after having your casein-rich snack, your body goes into repair mode. Your growth hormone levels rise, your amino acids trickle steadily into your bloodstream, and your muscle fibers get patched up and strengthened. You wake up in the morning not weaker, but stronger, not depleted, but restored. And over the weeks and months, this adds up to more muscle, more strength, and more independence. My friends, casein is not some magic powder or complicated plan. It's a simple, natural, powerful way to protect what you've worked so hard for. Your muscles are too important to let them fade away just because they're not getting fed at the right times. This is something you can start tonight, not next week, not next month, tonight. And when you do, you're making a statement to yourself and to your body. I'm not letting age take my strength without a fight. So remember this, fast proteins like whey have their place during the day, but slow proteins like casein are your secret weapon at night. Use them wisely, use them consistently, and you will feel the difference because your muscles deserve to be protected every hour of the day, especially while you sleep. And when you give them what they need, they'll give you the strength, stability, and vitality you deserve for the rest of your life. I want you to understand something that can truly change the way you think about aging and muscle health. There's a silent condition affecting millions of older adults called sarcopenia, and it's the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength that comes with age. Most people don't notice it until it's already caused big changes in their life. They might blame it on getting older, but the truth is, there's a very real and preventable reason for it. And one of the simplest, most effective ways to fight it is through something you can control every single day, what you eat before bed. Now, sarcopenia isn't just about losing a little tone in your arms or legs. This is about losing the engine that powers your body. Your muscles are responsible for keeping you mobile, protecting your joints, supporting your balance, and allowing you to perform everyday activities without strain. When your muscle mass drops, everything becomes harder. Walking upstairs, carrying groceries, bending down to tie your shoes, these things start to feel like challenges. And the scariest part, losing muscle increases your risk of falls, which for seniors can lead to serious injuries and a long road to recovery. Why does sarcopenia happen? Part of it is natural aging. As we get older, our bodies produce less growth hormone and testosterone, both of which are crucial for maintaining muscle. Our ability to use protein efficiently also declines. But a big part of the problem is lifestyle. Many seniors don't get enough high-quality protein throughout the day, and even fewer think about how their muscles are being fed during the night. You see, when you sleep, your body is fasting for 7, 8, maybe even 9 hours. That's a long stretch without food. During that time, your muscles are still active on a cellular level. They're repairing and rebuilding from the activities of the day. But if they don't have the amino acids they need to do that work, they start breaking down muscle tissue to get them. This is why so many older adults wake up weaker over time. It's not just aging, it's because their bodies are being forced to eat away at their own muscle for fuel during the night. Now here's the good news. This is completely preventable. You can protect your muscles from this overnight breakdown by giving your body a slow, steady source of protein before you go to bed. And this is where casein-rich foods come in. Casein is a type of protein that digests very slowly. It can take up to 6 to 8 hours to fully break down. That means if you eat a serving of casein before bed, your muscles are getting a steady supply of amino acids all night long. Instead of losing muscle, you're preserving it. Instead of waking up weaker, you're waking up stronger. Think of it like this. Your muscles are like a construction site, and nighttime is when the repairs happen. If the workers show up but there are no materials to build with, they can't do their job. But if you give them a slow, steady delivery of supplies all night, they can work non-stop, repairing damage and making your muscles stronger. That's what casein does. It keeps the supply chain going until morning. Now, the idea that you can fight sarcopenia with bedtime nutrition isn't just theory, there's real science behind it. Studies have shown that seniors who consume a slow digesting protein before bed can significantly improve their muscle protein synthesis rates compared to those who go to bed without it. Over time, that means more muscle mass, more strength, and less risk of disability or loss of independence. Let's talk about what this looks like in real life. You don't have to eat a big meal right before bed. In fact, you shouldn't. But a small protein-rich snack can work wonders. Cottage cheese is one of the best options. 1 cup of low-fat cottage cheese gives you 25 to 28 grams of protein, most of it casein. Greek yogurt is another excellent choice, giving you around 15 to 20 grams per cup. If you prefer something lighter, a glass of milk or a small casein protein shake can do the job. The goal is to make it a nightly habit so your muscles are never left unprotected during those long fasting hours. I've seen this work in so many people's lives. Seniors who struggled with weakness and fatigue started feeling stronger within a few weeks of adding a bedtime casein snack. They noticed their balance improving, their energy levels rising, and their ability to perform daily tasks getting easier. And the best part, this is a change you can make at any age. Whether you're 55 or 85, you can still benefit from protecting your muscles during the night. It's also important to understand that sarcopenia isn't just about muscles, it's about your entire health. When you lose muscle, your metabolism slows down, making it easier to gain fat. Your blood sugar control gets worse, increasing your risk of diabetes. Your posture suffers, which can lead to chronic back or neck pain. By preserving your muscle, you're protecting your overall health, not just your strength. And I'll tell you this, muscle is your best friend in the fight against aging. It's not just for athletes or bodybuilders. It's for anyone who wants to live a long, active, independent life. Muscle keeps you moving. It keeps you stable. It keeps you healthy. And the sooner you start protecting it, the better. So here's what I want you to do tonight. And every night, about 30 to 60 minutes before bed, have a small serving of a casein-rich food. Keep it simple. A half cup of cottage cheese with a sprinkle of cinnamon, a small bowl of plain Greek yogurt with some berries, a warm glass of milk if you like something soothing before sleep. Do this consistently and you will feel the difference. Remember, sarcopenia doesn't happen overnight, and neither does muscle preservation. It's the small, consistent actions you take day after day, night after night, that add up to big results. Protecting your muscle while you sleep is one of the smartest investments you can make in your health. It's easy, it's affordable, and it works. My friends, your muscle is too valuable to lose without a fight. Don't let the slow creep of sarcopenia rob you of your strength, your independence, and your quality of life. Feed your muscles before bed, give them the fuel they need to repair and grow, and you will be amazed at how much stronger, more energetic, and more capable you feel. This is not just about living longer, it's about living better. And it starts tonight with one simple choice. My friends, we've talked about the importance of protecting your muscle at night, the role of slow digesting proteins, and how sarcopenia slowly steals your strength as you age. Now, I want to talk about how you can take this to the next level, because protecting your muscle isn't just about what you eat before bed. If you really want to keep your muscle, preserve your strength, and stay active and independent for years to come, you need two things working hand in hand: consistency in your nutrition and regular resistance training. These two together are like like the dynamic duo for muscle preservation, especially after the age of 60. Let's start with consistency. I've been helping people with their health for many years, and I can tell you this, the people who get results are not the ones who make big changes for a week or two and then go back to their old habits. They're the ones who make small, sustainable changes and stick to them day after day, month after month, year after year. Feeding your muscles before bed is one of those habits. Doing it once in a while isn't going to change much, but making it a nightly ritual, something you do without even thinking about it, that's where the magic happens. You need to think of your muscle like a bank account. If you want that account to grow, you can't just deposit money once in a while and expect it to be there when you need it. You have to make regular deposits. Every night when you have your casein-rich food, you're making a deposit into your muscle bank. Over time, those deposits add up, and instead of losing muscle each year, you're holding steady or even building more. That's how you beat the natural decline that comes with aging. Now let's talk about the second piece of the puzzle, resistance training. And I want to be very clear here. Resistance training doesn't mean you have to go to the gym, throw around heavy weights, or do anything extreme. Resistance training simply means working your muscles against some form of resistance. That could be lifting a pair of light dumbbells, using resistance bands, doing push-ups against a wall, or even using your own body weight in simple movements like squats or step-ups. Here's why this is so important. Muscles are living tissue and they respond to stress. When you challenge them, even just a little, they adapt by getting stronger. If you don't challenge them, they shrink. It's that simple. And as we age, our muscles need more stimulation to stay strong than they did when we were younger. That's why doing resistance training 2 or 3 times a week, combined with your nightly protein habit, is so powerful. You're giving your muscles both the reason to grow through exercise and the tools to grow through nutrition. Imagine trying to build a house. Resistance training is like the construction crew. They're the ones doing the work, laying the bricks, putting up the walls. Protein is the building material. If you have a crew but no materials, nothing gets built. If you have materials but no crew, the materials just sit there. But if you have both, the work gets done and the house gets stronger. Your muscles work exactly the same way. And here's something many people don't realize. Resistance training doesn't just build muscle, it also improves your balance, coordination, and bone density. All of these things are critical for staying independent as you get older. Strong muscles support your joints and take pressure off your knees and hips. They protect your bones by absorbing the shock from daily movements. They help prevent falls by keeping you stable. And they even help with things like posture and breathing. When you combine this with the right nutrition, you're not just slowing down muscle loss, you're reversing it. You're telling your body, I still need this muscle, so don't get rid of it, and your body listens. I've seen people in their 70s and 80s gain muscle, increase their strength, and completely change the way they feel just by adding some gentle resistance training and staying consistent with their protein intake at night. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Dr. Mandell, I've never done resistance training before. I don't even know where to start. My advice is to start small. You don't have to do a complicated workout. Start with 10 minutes a day. Pick 2 or 3 simple exercises you can do at home. Maybe some wall push-ups, chair squats, and bicep curls with light weights or water bottles. Do them slowly. Focus on your form and breathe. Over time, as you get stronger, you can increase the number of repetitions or add a little more weight. And here's another important point. You don't need to feel sore for the exercise to be working. A lot of people think if they're not sore, they didn't get a good workout. But that's not true. What matters is consistency and gradual progress. Your goal is not to punish your body, but to train it gently and regularly so it adapts over time. So let's put this all together. Every night before bed, you're having your casein-rich snack. Maybe it's a small bowl of cottage cheese with some fruit, or a cup of Greek yogurt, or a casein shake. That's your muscle fuel for the night. During the day, 2 or 3 times a week, you're doing your resistance training, challenging your muscles so they have a reason to grow. You're making sure you get enough protein overall during the day, staying hydrated, and moving regularly. Do this for a few weeks, and you'll start to notice the changes. Your strength will improve. Everyday tasks will feel easier. You'll have more energy. Your balance will be better. And here's something else. You'll feel more confident. There's something powerful about knowing you're taking active steps to keep your body strong. It's a sense of control that many people think they've lost as they get older. I also want to stress that this isn't just about the physical benefits. Keeping your muscles strong improves your overall quality of life. It means you can keep doing the activities you love, whether that's gardening, playing with your grandchildren, traveling, or simply walking without fear of falling. It means you can maintain your independence, which is priceless. So my friends, here's my message to you. Don't let age steal your muscle without a fight. Be consistent with your nutrition. Make that nightly casein snack part of your routine, just like brushing your teeth, and give your muscles the challenge they need with regular resistance training. These two habits together are one of the most powerful defenses you have against the muscle loss that comes with aging. You don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have to start big. You just have to start and then keep going. Because the truth is, every day you delay is another day you could be getting stronger. And every day you show up for yourself is a day you're adding to your health, your strength, and your independence. Remember, your health is your wealth. Protect it, invest in it, and watch it grow. Your muscles will thank you, your body will thank you, and your future self will thank you. And I promise you, if you commit to these habits, you will look back a year from now and be amazed at what you've accomplished.